Well,
there you go.
Okay.
Whoa,
What?
whoa.
Never mind.
Wait a
Never
minute.
mind.
This is they're playing double healer.
They're playing double.
They're playing
healer.
double healer, basically. Yeah, Prop
Oh,
Paladins
God.
definitely
What?
have the
This-
throughput of
this
healer.
is-
Dude, this is a nightmare for jungle. I feel.
Yeah, this is an
checkmate.
absolute.
This is a nightmare for most people.
Yeah, this is a nightmare for anyone, but it's especially a nightmare for a composition that has to rely on setups and Discipline Priest mana bar. I think this is rough. If Creed rotates, I mean, let's be honest. Let's just sit down, talk about it. We've seen Drainer heal to 50% dampening by himself. Now he has a Resto Shaman on his team. Like, how is F2K My Way going to take anyone down? Like, I don't know how they're going to do it. I really don't.
They're on a clock, and it's a really fast clock.
All right, well, let's see what FTK My Way can do against this team here. 1-0 versus Creed.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Who are they going after very early on? Let's get Trap, a little drop on Drainer. Scatter now on Baka. What can they get done? Drainer going to be getting the Hammer of Justice here onto Hydra, and they're just going after this Hunter once again. Train the Hunter, stop his damage. Big damage out onto Tren immediately. But sacrifice trades from Drainer. And like I said, I mean, Drainer, he's healed to 50% dampening by himself. He's a wrecking ball right now. Just knocking everyone around, putting up big damage, and Hydra forced to trade out the Rapture as a response. The one great thing about the Protection Paladin is when you are on that Divine Steed, you are immune to crowd control, and that is absolutely devastating. And Drainer does a really good job of avoiding that crowd control. So I don't know how F2K My Way is going to be able to set this up, but they're going to have to find a way.
Drainer so far is playing very different to how he was playing solo healing as a prop paladin earlier. He is in their face. He is confident. And I would be too with this composition. You are going, I mean, he just shoved Bubble. What? Wait, I don't know if Creed is trolling or if they are just that confident, but maybe they are.
No,
Drainer looking to go for CC on the Hydra. No, he's knocking him around. Oh my God, that has to be the most frustrating thing ever.
Drainer's baiting a swap to him because he's running Holy Shield, so he like reflects damage back to attackers. So he's actually baiting them to attack him so they take more damage. I think is what he's trying to do because he shouldn't die even without Divine Shield. Maybe he regrets it. He might regret it, but he's baited the swap. They're attacking Drainer. Now it's whether or not he regrets it. Oh, goodness.
There's the
comes
link.
down. I think he regrets it a little bit. I'm pretty sure at this point he regrets it a little bit. Didn't
That's
get
an
too
overlap,
much
man.
value. And look at Hydra's mana. He's actually doing really well.
Yeah. I guess that's the one thing you kind of underestimate. If you don't have good counter pressure, if you're not actually getting aggressive in the matchup, and Drainer's, positioning offensively and just throwing out his bubble all willy-nilly, then it does make him a decent target in this matchup. He did get low there. Obviously, a lot of cooldowns did trade out. And now Creed, they can't be feeling too confident to actually push forward. They really don't have too many cooldowns. They're just going to try to continue the push, but so far, Casu's been doing a really good job actually kiting, maneuvering, getting away. He's going to get knocked away, then rooted. Drainer still just continuing to lead the charge. Potential Hammer of Justice here on the Hydra with a Hex, but he does get the powered barrier down. So nice barrier. Drainer once again trying to knock them out, but I think he's actually on diminishing return. Casu's had enough, so he won't be knocked out of that protective barrier. Now full trap does land. Drainer forced the line of sight, but there's really nowhere to run and hide. Let's see if Casu can get the damage out. It looks like Intimidating Shout will just trade. And right now, Creed, they're playing very defensive here.
And rightfully so. I mean, that was a pretty solid setup. Hydra, poured it in with that Venthyr ability, got a fear, but it was pretty DR or just really slow in duration. They could not get any momentum. And now they're getting aggressive. Hydra going back to the position in the corner of the map, forcing these guys to have to run really far to get that CC. There's the Hodge. They're trying to connect onto Katsu, but it looks like he's gonna be okay. He's at half health. He's kiting the best he can. And I can't help but feel like maybe Creed's win condition is gonna go into dampening. And now Hydra is starting to feel the mana push, but not nearly as much as I thought it would. Whenever I see Drainer pushing in and it's starting to get damage done, when I see that Wake of Ashes animation, it does chunk. So he is mostly utility, I'd say. He's definitely slowing down the game on this prop paladin, but he does have some damage to push through, and that's gonna be a really big deal. The deeper into dampening we get, which I'm inevitably thinking that we are going to get there.
Crowd control initiated here. Baka in a trap. Drainer just tanking him out here as a prop paladin should. Bop's out of the stun. I mean, he's got a lot of cooldowns coming up, so he's just trading them here to try and get aggressive. This is resonating arrow. Casu gets disarmed. He's not going to get any damage out of that blue circle at all, thanks to the plays of Tren here. Mana down below half now for Hydra. Not a good position. I think they are relying on a setup to win. I don't think they'll be able to out dampen Creed's composition here. However, there is still a substantial amount of healing coming from Tony as well. Likely Hydra is just relying on Tony to heal, and Hydra's just focusing on atonement to maximize his mana. However, Tony's mana is starting to get low. Might not have too many more regrowths left to go here as Hydra sits through a Hammer of Justice. They're just committed to Drainer, but again, they'll attack into a Holy Shield. Drainer's going to reflect a lot of damage and get tons of value if he's the target. And now his defensive cooldowns are starting to become more and more available despite that scary moment earlier on in the game. Tony just lobbing out regrowths. Again, it's basically Tony is the healer for Hydra because he cannot afford to press Shadow Mend basically at all. If he presses Radiance or Shadow Mend, he's going to run out of mana. So Tony will act as the Radiance with regrowths, and then Hydra will just spam Smite, Mind Blast, and Penance, and those are very low mana cost spells. And he should be able to keep his mana going quite healthy so long as Drainer's team can't get enough burst damage to overwhelm that healing rotation, and they've been doing that very well so far to have over 50% of their mana and pressure at the same time against the Prop Paladin. I was expecting them to get steamrolled, be completely out of mana and all dead at this point, but maybe they've got practice. I don't know how many Prop Paladins there are on the EU ladder. I thought tank meta was an NA thing, but maybe they've got practice into tanks on EU because they're looking pretty polished so far.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking too bad. I like what Hydra's doing. He's trading out cooldowns like Rapture just to avoid using mana, basically. There hasn't been a moment where F2K My Way is really in danger, but still, Rapture trades out, and that's just going to allow Hydra some efficiency through his healing, really just not using the Radiances like you said. But as dampening goes higher and higher, inevitably, Hydra will have to heal more, and I don't think Creed is going to win the game outside of Hydra being out of mana. I think that's their win condition. Get Hydra out of mana, and once he gets out of mana, that's when you can push forward and actually take someone down. So Creed, they just have to do a really solid job defensively. I think they can win this game. Drainer positioning, very defensive right now, just avoiding stuns. With the Divine Steed, Hydra throwing in a Mind Games. Going to land on not too much damage there on Tren. Drainer trades out the Sacrifice, now looking to get aggressive here on Casu, but still, Casu doing such a great job in this game. Kiting, Tren really kind of struggling to stay on target.
I think the time is running out for F2K My Way. I like the positioning. I love their the resilience to keep their mana going. I love how much throughput Hydra's getting with his smites, but I think they need to start getting a little bit more, I don't know, reckless if they want to catch some momentum. Maybe they're waiting for dampening too. Baka at completely high mana. There's the trap, the Cyclone onto Drainer. This is the damage on the trend. Die by the Sword is going to be forced to trade. The fear out of it from Hydra. This is the aggression that I wanted to see, but it looks like they're out of CC. As I say that, the bash goes out onto Baka. Drainer not in any CC, and Tren is A-OK. It's those type of aggressive goes that I want to see more and more of. But maybe they'll be even more potent. We're getting deeper into dampening, 14% here. And Hydra, I know he's feeling it at this point. Baka, on the other hand, he is completely fine on mana. Creed definitely knows that the momentum is in their favor. This is definitely their game to lose.
Let's see if they can keep it going. Stun on Hydra. Tony's looking for Cyclones. Gets it on Tren. Not going to be finding a kill without their warrior. Going after the Shaman maybe in dampening. Remember, Tony's playing Night Fae, and as a druid, you've got Convoke the Spirits. This is a powerful cooldown where you channel 16 random druid spells. You get a lot of ferocious bites and just absolutely kill somebody outright. So Tony, I think, is going to be the main win condition for F2K My Way, both defense and offense between his regrowths and Convoke. Look at this pressure on Tren, and Drainer makes a trade just in time. Actually, Disorienting Roar onto the Guardian of Forgotten Queens. Nice play, removing that immunity. Swapping over to Drainer for a moment in that Maim stun. Tony trying to bait interrupts, gets Wind Shear on the Cyclone out of the way, looks for another one. Not able to find it, it looks like at this point. Hydra was trying to drink. He's still at 50% mana 8 minutes in. I feel like they actually have potential. I mean, dampening is a bit of a double-edged sword. Baka pre-flesh crafting incoming crowd control, but gets interrupted into a Cyclone. Tony is playing excellently in this game. He's certainly not letting the tank kind of get to him. That can happen to you a lot when you're fighting these tank specs, is that you're just like, come on, I want the game to end. But Tony is still taking this very seriously and playing really well.
I can't help but smile every time Drainer's just on his Divine Steed like a wrecking ball, knocking everyone around.
On the torrent at that, dude.
Oh, Convoke! Here's Convoke!
Big damage! That was Convoke as well, as massive damage coming from Casu, the True Shot Aura. And it looks like they do manage to hold on. Intimidating Shout gets traded out by Tren, just using his crowd control to survive. Just survive as long as you can, but It's like you said, dampening is a double-edged sword here in this matchup. Drainer, a lot of his utility comes in from throwing in those off heals. So I feel like if F2K my way, they can hold on, keep their mana good. They're not going to go down to this composition more than likely until Hydra's completely tapped on mana. So still a little bit of a way to go. They got some breathing room. I'd say this game probably goes to around 40-50% dampening with the way it is playing out. But Creed still just has so many cooldowns that they can rotate through. That was the big hit that F2K my way does have available. And I feel like Creed is going to be feeling relatively safe here for the near future, at least for a couple more minutes. As long as they don't kind of trip up and they just trade their defensive cooldowns appropriately. They got some time here to get some pressure. But Casu, just look at the way he's hiding. It's just so difficult for Tren to actually stay on target on that marksmanship hunter. And as a result, their pressure has been really, really limited. And Hydra's been able to hold on to that mana. Casu now getting bursted down. Aspect of the turtle available. If he does need it, he gets disarmed. Damage looking to be avoided here. Casu looking to get aggressive, but that disarm paying dividends right now here for Tren. Casu really wants to get some damage. Rapid fire does go out. Do they have a stun? Trent getting bursted down in defense mode, throwing out a Stormbolt on Tony, and he will end up surviving.
Yeah, before that go, they actually landed a full trap onto that was just broken or either dispelled. It's so hard to get good cross CC on this composition on Creed. These guys are disruptive, they're pros, they're positioning well. It looks like they're going to try to get another push on the Tren with a bash on the Drainer and a fear on the Baka. Now Drainer out of that CC and Tren looks to be A-okay. It's one thing to, like, you know, try to find a window against double healer, and it's another thing to try to find a window against, like, these three classes. All of these classes in the side of Creed are really good against melee damage, and that's mainly what you're seeing from this jungle at this point. We're getting deeper into dampening. Hydra's mana still is hovering pretty healthily, I'd say, for how long this game is going, but maybe that's just because it's just a single DPS really on the side of Creed. The preemptive dome goes down as Tren pushes in. He looks like he wants to chunk down Katsu, looking like a chicken Katsu at like 30% health there. He still has Turtle. They still have all their buttons available, but the longer this game goes, the harder and harder the win conditioning for my way is.
Katsu is just playing with Tren at this point. He's avoiding him so excellently. Just watch the Hunter line of sighting, but he gets caught by Drainer and a Hammer of Justice. Good punish by Drainer. Tony intercepts. Katsu going to disengage back away from the fight once again. With dampening at 40%, the healing from the Prop Paladin and the Feral Druid, most notably, is going to be a lot lower here. Curious to see if they even go after Hydra a bit, just poking him. His entire team whittled down. He cannot ever press Radiance or Shadowman. He'll just completely run out of mana. He's been using Solace as much as possible, mashing out Smites and Penance in the backline on that fence to try and maximize his atonement healing and just try and net a kill and dampening with surprise burst damage from the Feral Druid. That's really their only win condition. They've lined up a freezing trap. They've isolated Tren. They get die by the sword, and Casu is avoiding Tren. It's basically stay away from the warrior. You don't want that warrior anywhere near you, as that's going to be all of the damage coming out from Creed, and Casu has avoided him so well. Tren is actually attacking a different target, trying to charge in, gets disengaged away from. Disorienting roar from Tony stalls Tren's assault once again. Casu has such good positioning. Resonating arrow, pew pew around the corner through the wall. Rapid fire. Tren's trying to chase him down. Casu gets knocked away. Tren gets bursted down to half again. He stormbolts him, but Casu line of sights the stormbolt. They just can't touch this Hunter. It's normally very difficult to kite a Venthyr warrior, especially as a marksmanship Hunter. But Casu has been playing so well in these final moments. Is it going to be enough? We're at 50% dampening. They're working with 10% mana. Is it going to be enough is now the question. This is the final test.
He gets low. Tren, he went down to 5% health. The Spiritling Totem does drop out. Drainer, this is his Avenging Wrath. They're trying to get aggressive. Hydra's got almost no mana left. There's pretty much no defensive cooldowns. That was his Rapture. Still Pain Suppression, big mind games potentially coming in. Drainer does manage to land the Hammer of Justice, but Casu's been doing such a good job avoiding Tren in this matchup. That really has been the story. And right now, taking a little bit of burst. Baka, really not too much healing. There's no Ascendance, there's no Spiritling Totem. And this is where dampening is really setting in for both these teams. You can see anyone really is a target. Casu getting super aggressive. Tren, can he get away? He needs to range the Hunter, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. This is die by the sword, avoiding some of that damage, but Tren is very, very scared at this point of the game. He gets knocked away. Can they stay on target? Casu once again doing a great job kiting. He is going to be able to get away, and Tren just can't not move. Finally getting freedom. The root goes out onto Casu as well, but using his roar. He is going to be able to get away for a moment, but this uptime from this warrior Casu all game, he's been doing such a good job kiting, going for a big aim shot right now. Trent's going to be trinketing out, looking to get aggressive. 55% dampening. Drainer and Trent, they just need to stay on target. Casu still has the aspect of the turtle, but the crowd control from F2K My Way still going out. Trent getting low. There's no cooldowns left, and they might be able to do it here.
They absolutely might. This is crazy. Who cares about mana when you're at 56% dampening? Trap goes out on the Baka. Trent's still in a lot of trouble. This surely has to be it. The Dome is keeping their team aggressive here. Trent, he is so close to death, and that'll do it. I can't believe it. F2K My Way. I mean, on paper, when I look at this, I would say, oh yeah, they just got hard countered. They lost in the draft. I was proven wrong, and now they are up 2-0 against Creed. That has got to be a good.
I gotta correct you. I got you correct you. Feed.
Yeah, please.
It's not Creed. It's Feed.
It's not Creed.
I don't know, man. You know, I feel like the matchup changes when you have Casu on your team. That was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Casu just had such great kiting, such good positioning in this match. I almost felt bad for Trent. I mean, he's, he was really struggling to stay on target. Casu doing such a great job. I mean, 55% dampening. You can see Baka, Drainer, really no defensive cooldowns left. Trent as well. There's no die by the sword. And Hydra, he just goes for it. The smites come in. He ends up landing in Mind Games and a Shadow Word Death, which I think actually closed out the game, trading out the barrier. Thinking maybe I go for a drink here, but they had the crowd control, they had the damage. Hydra gets sheared, and I do think it is a Mind Games Shadow or Death that closes it out. Big damage coming in from Hydra, and yeah, they had the presence of mind. Hydra 0 mana left. They were almost there. They were almost at the finish line, but Casu,
Trainer out healed Baka. Should have got their mate.
Look at Drainer's damage. He matched Trent's damage. Is that from kiting or?
Well, I mean, Hydra's damage too. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Oh wow.
I mean, everyone in this
crazy.
game almost did 1 million damage except Baka. The rest of Shaman's like, I'd healed the least. I did the least damage.
I did not have faith. I need to apologize to My Way. I did not have faith. When I saw Hydra like sitting max range, I'm like, dude, this is not gonna go well for you. But I was sorely wrong. Once you get to that deep in dampening, turns out 2 DPS and a chicken katsu kiter. That's all you need.